So, divine beings, welcome, welcome. It's so wonderful to reconnect to the soul family, to each of you. In these moments in time is the, the vast, explosive blessings of consciousness for every one of us. Through the pandemic, through all the challenges we've been put into, we have been given the gift within to incubate the powerful light of consciousness. So today, what I wish to speak about is the three blessings of the realms, the mystical realms of a Siddha wisdom that enhances our depth in meditation, in yoga, in whatever we do. So, to begin with is our understanding of what is it that we seek. We seek that vast light of consciousness that multiplies us into the many and condenses us into that oneness. So, going back to the many years of my search after my wake up, I was a sadhu, and I felt that all the realized masters had something to give. And in my search for the divine masters, the realized beings, the Siddhas in South India, I was led to powerful beings like Guru Ayya, who meditated in his cave for over 18 years, drinking just a cup of milk a day without moving. There was Sadhu Krishnaveni Amma, who meditated in her cave for 45 years. There was Mahasava Swami, who lived in a tiger sanctuary all by himself for over 2 decades. Each of these masters had something so powerful to offer. And I was a seeker wanting that. So as I journeyed within myself as a sadhu, letting go of my outer realities to complete myself in my wholeness, I realized my Guru's grace was everything. So as I journeyed through to meet my masters, I realized the first of what I would teach you, and that is the light you would receive to alight our inner light. If you meet any master of consciousness, the only thing that is worth asking for and worth receiving is a part of that consciousness. This consciousness is set alight through especially the mantra. And then the journey has begun, invoking and multiplying that light within ourselves. What the Guru has done is to awaken our inner Guru, the innermost lamp, the light within. And now it is ours to nurture and grow. So as we grow, as we nurture that through each breath, connecting our inhale and our exhale to source God with the mantra vibrancies, we are invoking the presence of the Guru. And that lineage of light within ourselves to multiply that light which is within ourselves. So, once a day, sit down, light a lamp, break the 24-hour cycle, step into timelessness. Let timelessness divide our time. So once we have begun the journey, it's unstoppable. On a macro level, on planet Earth, consciousness is an idea that in time has come. Platforms such as this, Inside Timer, is the proof that we are that idea in time on a macro level. On a micro level, that is within each one of us, that lamp that we have lit outside ourselves is manifesting the lamp light within ourselves. And as we alight the lamp within ourselves, now we are setting alight the vortex of light to nurture, grow, and enhance in frequency. When we say the temple is within us, it really means we have woken up the enshrined being within us. Now, when we face difficulties and challenges in life, we know exactly where to go to take that reality and transform that reality into miracles. So within this first dimension of teaching of light is understanding the word tapas. If you go through all the ancient writings and ancient experiences of all the sages, it all begins with tapas. So what is tapas? You hold that intent, thought, mantra in timelessness over a long stretch of time, and whatever that is will manifest itself. So let's assume we have challenges in finances, or challenges in our relationship, or challenges in any which form. Bring it to the innermost light and allow that external reality to shape itself from what we intend with our innermost sacred fires. Nothing is impossible. Everything is possibility once we are in the mode of tapas. The next dimension of understanding the realm beyond the mind and the realm of light, the realm of expanded consciousness is that now we are growing the embryo of God, the embryo of source. This source that we are growing as the embryo is aligned to the grace blessings that we receive from a master or from the sages. Paramahamsa Yogananda mentions in the book Autobiography of a Yogi that when a saint leaves the body, you do not burn it, we bury it, because the body still continues with the vibrancies of the light that the saint had invoked. And the body is enshrined as the vortex of power and light and blessings. So normally above the saint, above that body, a temple is constructed. And the lingam that is placed on top represents infinity in the finite. That is the meaning behind the lingam. So, by installing the lingam, the energy field of that saint can now unconditionally 24 by 7 radiate itself for all of humanity. Now, when we wake up, we are now on the journey to be that lingam, alive, awake, and transmitting our light across the globe. So as we go through with regards to our journey towards light, we are now becoming the vortex of light. And this vortex of light of tapas, the constancy of our journey within connecting source from exhale and inhale, allows the light to be. Now when you step into the temples, the powerful ancient temples, we receive the embryo of that divinity. There are so many ancient sacred temples all across India. And all these temples have a unique specific dimensional energy. So any one of the temples we go through, we are receiving an embryo while we are growing that embryo, allowing that embryo to become the vastness of what it is. Angels are depicted with wings because of possibilities of beingness. In other words, if we have become the spirit having the human experience, and as the spirit we are the we, now all our potential awakens and the sixth dimensional beingness within us awakens. In other words, our five senses limits us to our mind, but then beyond the five senses, the sixth sense, beyond the mind is the other dimensional super mind of Turiya. Now, in the states of higher consciousness, everything is a possibility as we begin awakening our innate geniuses in several forms. And every one of us have our innate geniuses. And those geniuses is the wings of the angel that is depicted in all cultures of realized beings, of beings of light, always with wings. In other words, they can be in many places at the same time. In other words, through thought, we can reach thought. I remember Mahasiva Swami, who was living in the forests of Nambi Hills, in the tiger sanctuary. And I would ask him, Guruji, I am going to be in America. How do we connect? How do I manage to talk to you? How are we able to send a message to each other? And he would tell me, go into your third eye, go into the mantra grace, step into that vibrancy zone. You will find me here. And here, send me a message and I will receive my message and we will give it to each other. And many times, I would somehow get hold of him through my friend with a cell phone, and he would tell me, while I was in America and he was in India, he would tell me, oh, so you received the message. And yes, his message was clear as to what he needed or what he was directing me to do. So, in other words, we are now beginning to experience the sixth dimensional beingness of being the yogi. And every one of us have it in us to wake up, and that's why we are on the spiritual path, because once we are here in the sixth dimensional, we negate a karmic imprints with the light of consciousness. So, as we churn the light to be the pillar of light, the constancy of our mantra grace, the I has slowly but surely dissolved away to be the we. The I has now given way to becoming the pillar of light within ourselves. So wherever we are simply generating the energies to be the pillar of light, to be that radiance of being. And as we churn and churn the light around us and whirl the light around us, we have all the angelic beings, all the masters of consciousness wanting progress in their station, wanting to come to assist us. So in grace, they too can ascend. And yet it is the human that is capable of that rapid development and growth in the consciousness fields as we go through life and death. Many years ago, I was talking to my Guruji, Rajasamy, who would go with his Guruji, Kagapujinda Talayatti Siddha, into the forest. And then the evenings, everything would quieten down as they meditated. But what Rajasamy was amazed about was that all the animals would come together and they would actually lay down still. The snakes, the peacocks, the deer, the wild boars, all the animals would come down and sit down together. So he asked his Guru later, saying, I see a lot. I see a lot more. I experience a lot more than I see. So tell me, what is the wisdom behind it? For which Kagabujanda mentioned, when you are awake and when you are invoking God, light, source, you have become the pillar of light, and all the angelic beings now are rotating around you, wanting to serve you. Some come in the form of animals itself through living beings to be with you. So when we have a dog or cat, they are all higher consciousness beings who have come as a contract. So they all have come to serve, to be with you. This is the moment when you pray and they will serve the prayer in the form of miracle. They will serve the circumstance in the form of wisdom. They will serve us for the reason that it is only in the human that we can progress fast in consciousness. Once we have left this human body and once we are in the spirit world, our progress can come through helping others by way of thought, by way of giving wisdom, and by way of serving. That is why a spiritual being is empowered as in the power of the we. So the three dimensions we have is the light of consciousness that we receive from an enlightened master. The power of tapas that enables. The power of tapas is the constancy of that prayer of light that makes us into a vortex of light, the pillar of light. And the I becoming the we, that we are served by all of the consciousness in the now. So when we do our yoga, when we meditate, for us, we can invoke Christ. All the beings, including Einstein, including Shirdi Sai Baba, any of the beings of light, we can call for their presence and let them expand our consciousness and receive the grace of the highest wisdom from these masters. So, in our journey to understanding what meditation is all about, there is the realm of asking for that wisdom that guides us even higher and guides us even deeper and makes it more potent. This dimension of knowing that within also means going even more deeper into then what is it that we receive as a mantra. Within the mantra, the Siddha mantras, they're exceptionally powerful because an entire lifetime has been spent on reciting the same mantra on and on with a singular intent. God, source, let me unite. Let's be one. We are oneness. We are one. So that the power of the mantra carries this tapas grace and the grace presence of all the masters that is now lit within us. That is now the embryo that we are incubating, and that embryo that we are incubating has grown and to be the master. And as the master, now it is the many as one with all the beings of light now shining through to be the one. So in this oneness, grace is. So what are we here to do? What is the highest purpose? This we begin to realize as to what makes a heart sing, what allows us the flow in doing, what gives us that sacred joyful vibrancies in even aligning to it. The moment we've recognized all this, and now we've come into the doings of the heart song, now all the geniuses that has already been determined within us has started shining. And these unique geniuses of ours multiplies us rather than pulling us down, because Siddhi by itself is extra powers that can land us in a cage of ego and stop our spiritual growth. But when we are the spirit having the human experience with the wisdom, that Siddhi, that extra power that we are experiencing and enjoying and expanding and deploying in our heart's work now, actually is our wings. The wings are being breaking the impossible with simply being our light. In collective terms, where each one of us are in all of the globe, we each now are connected in the realm of the light as soul family. This light, this blessing is that which allows us to be the grace, allows us to align to grace. With consciousness, empathy, oneness, compassion, nurturing, forgiveness, all of this is now simply awakening. And as we align to this dimension of beingness, we are beginning to see that timelessness has now been given the reality space in our time. Now, when we say timelessness, we need to understand timelessness from the time before we were born and the time after we are dead. This timelessness is the womb from where we emerge and dissolve. So when we are meditating, understand this greater realm of timelessness which precedes time, that we are allowing to be light. And so when we go to sleep every day, understand we are stepping into this womb. Timelessness is very much a human concept too. When we sleep, Are we really aware of time? Not as much. It's a mental, yes, of course. It's a mental state of knowing time. But if we did not have a mind, we would not really be in the experience of time. But if we are in the human to experience time, then when we experience timelessness, almost in a moment we are stepping into that beyond the mind, that innate empowering wisdom. And when we bring that into our realities, we are simply unfolding heavens. Now, let's sum up all of this into a practice that we could do. The first, when we are meditating, invoke all the beings who have guided us. It could even be from books that you've read. Simply the being behind the book, like autobiography of a yogi, for instance. Paramahamsa Yogananda serves as the guru behind that. Invoke all the gurus and put an intent saying, I receive your grace, the grace of the sacred fires in me. Receive it like a baptism. Receive all the grace. If you read the Bible, Christ is a guru. All the spiritual teachings have gurus and beings behind. Invoke all the beings and let them be the light. Now, allow that light inside us to grow. When we say breath from source to source, what is in between is the vibrant light. And as we go into the vibrant light of our meditation, our subconsciousness has picked it up. Our subconsciousness is constantly in this. So now when you go to sleep, our necessity to sleep in terms of time has come down. When we are awake, we are super aware. Because now our subconsciousness is now in a mode of source connected in being, and it is literally now vibrating as source. So what springs out of our mind is wisdom that clears the way. Now comes the next dimension, which is understanding wisdom itself to being grace, because wisdom means really all the good things that we could do, being goodness. Standing in the grace of standing and aligning with grace to enhance and multiply grace is goodness, the power of wisdom. Now within all of this is knowing that as we are generating more and more energies, we are going to find challenges in our life, because when we come as human, we are each put into our own challenges to break through and transform to blessings. So when we are now bringing all of the problem and all of the challenges within, and the mind that is sort of like that is ready to go inside, whenever we are sad or emotional, we are ready to go within. When you take all of this as offerings to offer that light within us, it is only natural that external realities have transformed itself into the miracles that we intend. And then comes the dimension of knowing that we are the we. When the I identification has fallen down, now as spirit we are wide awake. We are awake to the law of karma and the law of dharma. When you awake to the law of karma, we know what good karma is, to simply do it because it makes our heart happy. And we know the law of dharma simply because we enjoy it. So when we are in the mode of in the knowing and being, it is only natural that we are expanding consciousness. And even as we expand consciousness, the pillar of light that we are is the vortex. This same pillar of light that we are invoking within ourselves could actually be our altar in our home. And that which you would carry with us portable when you're driving the car, when you're sitting down before the computer. Whatever you're doing, allow that pillar of light to move. And as it moves, we also know our heart is singing. And when the heart sings, angels come to hear it. Who are the angels? All the beings of light. They come down to be with us. They come down seeking to serve. This is a 24/7 dimension that we would set a light in our subconsciousness. Now when we are in the awake state, simply allow ourselves to be the heart song, be the vibrancy. And see, in life, as we go through in so many challenges and happiness and good things and bad things, all of this is bound to happen. But how we are able to work these emotions is what transforms that reality in a way in which aligns with our heart. So how do we know, is this the right path? We know it as we know what makes our heart sing. So every moment is your heart singing. Every moment, are you from the knowing, allowing the power of inspiration to move? Are we inspired beings, being the power of the many as one? This is a truth within ourselves that is so much there for us to recognize and simply align. So in this journey of being is also time. Like these moments now is the time when Diwali is unfolding. Diwali is the time of festival of light. So when you say the festival of light, it's based on the lunar calendar, where astronomically and astrologically there is an alignment of the new moon coming along with all of the other cosmic alignments. So this is the time, especially now, for us to journey within to set a light. So divine beings, keep a lamp, or light a lamp at least once a day. Connect to all the masters. Allow the inner master, the inner guru to wake up and grow. Align that mastery to all the masters of light, to all of source, to be the we. And now, work this light as the joyful play, the heart song, the supreme lovemaking at all times. Grateful for the moments we shared together. To learn more or to connect with Nandhiji, email us awake@nandhi.com, NANDHI.com, or visit our website nandhiji.com, NANDHIJI.com, in grace and blessings as one. Om Namah Shivaya.